Hi, I will be covering the basics of initiatives and referendums in the Arizona Constitution. During this video, I will define, compare, and contrast initiatives and referendums, discuss how they are created, and look into how initiatives and referendums support direct democracy in the Arizona Constitution. What is an initiative and a referendum in the Arizona Constitution? Initiatives give the citizen the right to propose a new law or allow citizens to make changes to the existing constitution independently and without inclusion of legislation through this process. Whereas with a referendum, it is the proposed law by the legislature that once passed is put out for citizens to approve or deny through their official vote. This is the most official and commonly used way to make changes to the Arizona Constitution. How are initiatives and referendums created? Initiatives are first drafted by citizens. The proposal can be handwritten or typed, but there is no requirement on language specifics or length. Once it is completed, the draft is then filed with the Secretary of State. The Arizona Constitution does require a valid signatures of 15% from the number of votes cast in the last state election. Whereas with a referendum, the House and Senate first propose the change through a majority vote, but it does not have to be a supermajority like with the U.S. Constitution, making the process much easier. Once it is approved by legislature, the voters of Arizona decide on the outcome and put it on the ballot. Comparing and contrasting an initiative and a referendum. An initiative is a citizen created and proposed independently. It is collectively then gained by signatures so that it can be put on the ballot for everyone to vote on. With a referendum, it is a decision that is made by the General Assembly to put on the ballot. The initiative is entirely created by the people because they draft, gain signatures, and vote on the outcome. The referendum is indirectly created. It is drafted, proposed, and decided on by elected Senate and House officials in order to then be voted on by the people. Both processes include a final step of getting a citizen vote, though. What are some pros and cons of initiatives? The advantages of initiatives are that it gives the power of decision directly to the people. It makes the legislature more responsive based on the citizens' ability to address issues directly. It allows citizens to hold legislature accountable. There are some disadvantages, though. It can lead to poorly drafted laws because there are no official requirements for the drafts, and any registered voter can create one. There is no expertise involved in the process. It can create a lot for voters to decide on, which leads to less informed decisions from the voters. It is a more accessible process to well-resourced organizations, making it perhaps less of a more democratic process. What are some pros and cons of a referendum? The advantages of a referendum are that it creates proposals drafted by experts that are constitutionally sound. It creates policies and procedures that reflect the majority's will. It creates specific points of negotiation aligning with the priorities of politicians with the people. Some disadvantages of referendums are that it can create division in communities. It does not allow the people to be in full control of what issues are proposed. It creates further political divide amid politicians, causing drafts to become stagnant and will not end up getting passed through legislature and will not be able to be handed to the people to give their final vote. How do initiatives and referendums support direct democracy in the Arizona Constitution? Direct democracy is defined as a form of democracy where policies and laws are decided by the citizen rather than entirely by elected legislatures. Initiatives give voters direct power to adopt and change laws or disapprove laws passed by legislatures. It removes the role of elected officials acting as a middleman to give full access to the running of the government by the people. Whereas referendums allow the people to have the final say on whether the proposal is passed or not by showing the outcome of direct democracy. However, the beginning of the process of the referendums require legislatures to pass the proposal by a majority before it can reach the ballot, showing an example of representative democracy. That would be the conclusion of my presentation of initiatives and referendums. Thank you so much.